Joav Toker is a professor at the American Graduate School in Paris. He focuses on security and terrorism and joins me now from Paris. Professor Toker, thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Washington.
Brussels, as we've been talking with our correspondent Nathan King and Kate Parkinson, has been on heightened alert after the Paris attacks. Should they have seen this attack coming? And was there clearly a big gap in intelligence, perhaps even failure in intelligence?
We will find that out sooner or later. The elements are not yet there here on the table right now, this evening here in Paris, in Europe, in order to clarify that. But I wouldn't say that beyond the very short run, this is really very significant, because governments and special services all over Europe are aware of the fact that the intelligence state of affairs in this domain is not sufficient. And just 2 minutes ago in your conversation in the studio in Washington, you indeed referred to it. You know that when eventually French and Belgian policemen succeeded 5 days ago in capturing probably one of the major responsibles of the Paris November 13th attack, with 130 dead persons and hundreds injured, indeed, it was not probably due to any human intelligence source. Everything was, of the intelligence thing, was technological. There is a flagrant deficiency of human intelligence sources, which could make the difference, but they won't make the difference in the short or the medium run. It's a long-range effort.
How severe do you think is the threat to the rest of Europe right now? Should passengers be afraid to get into airports and subway stations?
Well, no, passengers, of course, should not be as afraid as much as they can. I mean, it's so easy to say that to the microphone and the camera. Of course, that when it goes down to the individual psychological level, these words do not have a lot of sense. But I mean, this is one of the basic elements which are inherent in the fight against terrorism, as terrorists, of course, try to create kind of a generalized panic and generalized fear, and this is precisely what collectivities, communities, nations should not do. So a civil obedience, a civil discipline all over the place, let it be Belgium or France or the United States or China or Turkey or whatever, should of course react to that as much as possible in a way of minimal fear. Now that, combined with hopefully some more cooperation and some more coordinated efforts on the level of government, as you said, which are somehow hesitant to cooperate and share information, the type of crisis situation which is that of tonight in Europe is the type of crisis which pushes governments and special services to cooperate furthermore. Now, it doesn't help on the long run, but little by little by little, hopefully they will gain more efficiency and will try to avoid as much as possible. Will that be the end of the series of terrorist attacks? Certainly not. Will they succeed in bringing down, limiting, stopping some of them? Probably yes.
I want to ask you about the timing. You mentioned Salah Abdul Salam, who was captured in a pretty dramatic raid in Brussels on Friday. In your opinion, were these attacks perhaps revenge for his capture, or do you believe they had already been in the works and someone just decided to go ahead and do it today?
I, of course, do not have any concrete clues which may insinuate as to the factual side of was there a linkage between these two, and perhaps specialized services do. But honestly, I do not think that it has enormous significance. We are not right now fighting, the entire world is not fighting terrorism the old way. The old way was could be described in a form in which terrorists were against governments or political systems, and they had revendications, they demanded things, they were ready or not ready to negotiate, and therefore the notion of revenge and counter-revenge had a sense. We are now in a type of new terrorism, neo-terrorism if you wish, which is globalized and which is total. I mean, we speak about total terrorism. So I don't think that the notion of revenging over capturing one of the members of the terrorist groups of November or earlier would make a lot of sense either for terrorists or for those who are fighting them, because the fight is total, is global, and would probably carry on this way.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Joav Toker joining us from Paris. Thank you.